guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I said that I wasn't gonna do another book haul this year. Yeah, I lied. Okay, so not only do we have a book haul here, this is but you know what, I'm not counting this as a book haul because it is a book unboxing. Okay, so that includes book boxes and then books that I bought myself because my job gave me a huge gift card to Amazon, and so I spent it on books. And plus I did buy some in the store that I just felt like I'm just gonna show you guys what I got on top of that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start off with the books that I bought at stores and stuff. So I got a few of these at Barnes & Noble, including We Used to Live Here by Marcus Klewer. Because if you guys saw the video where I let the Goodreads Choice Awards choose what I read, this was included in that, and I really have been wanting to read this book. And so I sat down in Barnes & Noble and I'm like, okay, if the first chapter is good, then I will buy it. Obviously, I bought it. So it was amazing. I didn't even want to put it down. It was so good. So if you guys do not know, this is basically like Parasite meets Get Out. It's about this like couple, right, that like bought this new house together. And well, it's not a new house, but it's new to them, okay? And then they move in and then knock, knock, knock. This family comes in knocking one night and one of the girlfriend's there by herself. And they're like, oh, this is my old town home. Blah, 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 blah. Like, can you please let me show my family? I've always wanted to show my family. And so she lets them in. And I guess they just never want to get out. So that's what used to live here. The next book that I got is Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. This is about two people that one of them is like a skeptic, I believe, and the other one loves to do like docuseries, or she's a blue-haired producer that has the opportunity to lead. She basically has her own show where they do like conspiracies and stuff. So she's a believer, I think, and then he's a skeptic, or she's a skeptic and he's a believer. The hardest thing for a paranormal conspiracy theorist and a web series producer to believe in is finding love in the swoony debut romantic comedy. So it's a romantic comedy that has to do with conspiracy theories and paranormal entities that they find together. So I'm like, okay, yes, I'm gonna love this. I know I'm gonna love this. It just seems like a really cozy, fun time. The next book that I bought is, I have had my eye on this for so long, but it's Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I have been hesitant about whether I should get this or not because it's a dark romance, but you know what? After so many people telling me that it's like a dark comedy, dark romance, I'm like, okay, like say no more, that's all I need to know. I ended up buying it because that's all I need to hear. If it's comedic, that's all I need. Like, I love comedy in books. I love when books make me laugh out loud. In this one, we are following a trauma nurse who has like a kink for masked men, and then she meets this guy online, and the two of them develop this, they have this weird kink together. Let's just say that. So that's Lights Out. And then the next book that I got, you guys, I finally got them. I've literally had my eye on this series for so long. And then Target was having a BOGO deal where it was like buy two, get the third free. And I was like, okay, so I bought Lights Out and I bought these two. This is the Shepherd King duology. So One Dark Window, and then we have Two Twisted Crowns. I'm so excited to be reading these, you guys, because I heard this is dark fantasy and their powers are like, I guess the girls' powers have something to do with like tarot cards. And I'm like, say no more, say no less. That is all I need to know, because maybe you guys know, maybe you guys don't. I have another channel on YouTube that I've been at for longer, and I'm a professional tarot card reader. So I love my tarot cards, okay? If you guys looked at my library, the whole top section is all tarot cards. So I know I'm gonna love this. I know I'm gonna love this. I'll move on to the books that I got at Bookoff. Here are the books that I got at Bookoff. After everything that has been happening with the world, right, the country, I have been on a binge to buy more non-fiction books and books that'll really expand my mind and like provide more open-mindedness. So I bought some books. Some of them are fiction, but some of them are nonfiction from Bookoff, which is like a used bookstore. The first one that I got was The Sum of Us: What Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather McGee. This was only $5, you guys. $5. And it was, yeah, the actual price is like $28, and it's like in like great condition. So I'm like so excited that I was able to get this because I had this on my Amazon wish list. So that is really awesome. The next book that I got was The High Mountain Court by A.K.L. Mulford. I've been seeing this at Target every time I go, and I've had my eye on it, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But for $5, I'm like, what do I have to lose for $5? You know what I mean? So I ended up getting it. I don't know. It says, a lone witch, a forgotten artifact, a powerful prince, and a world exploding into chaos. I know there's like 5 in this series so far. If you guys have read any of these, please let me know, because I don't know if this is a good series or not. I just see it every single time and it catches my eye, but I'm like, is it worth it? I haven't seen anybody talk about it. The next book that I got is one that I have had my eye on for a while now, and that is Kindred by Octavia Butler. Okay, this one is about Dana, a 20th century black woman who is celebrating her 26th birthday with her new husband, is snatched from her home in California and transported to the antebellum South. Rufus, the white son of a plantation owner, is drowning, and Dana has been summoned to save him, reportedly drawn back through time. So she's basically like going back and forth in time. I thought that was a really awesome concept, very unique. And it's Octavia Butler, who I know is like praised for her books. I also want to get her Parable of the Sower series. I'm not sure if it's a duology or if there's more than 2 books, but I really want to get that one too. So I am so excited to finally be reading this, because I've literally had my eye on it for like at least a year. And then lastly, but certainly not least, we got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I read this one in 2022. Okay, I listened to the audiobook, and it is literally my favorite sapphic romance ever. I loved this book so freaking much, and still to this day, 2 years later, almost 3, I still think about this book all the freaking time. This is the book that made me realize how obsessed I am with time loop tropes. This is about a girl who is like living in a big city. I forgot what city. New York City. Of course it's New York City. I wasn't sure if it was New York or New Jersey, but New York City. And she goes into the subway one day and she sees this girl that is like the most beautiful, stunning woman she's ever seen in her life, and she cannot take her eyes off of her. And then the train leaves, and now she wants to go back and she wants to find this woman. And she wants to see who she is. And like, I don't want to give too much away. I don't know if the synopsis says anything else. Yes, okay, I wasn't sure if I was going to give it away, but it turns out, actually, I don't even want to tell you because I went into this without knowing the synopsis. I literally just downloaded it on Libby because there was no way for it. And I was blown away by it. I'm not going to tell you more. Because this is one that like I feel like you should go in blindly, because I was blown away by the things that happened, because I didn't know that they were going to happen that way, if that makes any sense. So freaking good. I was obsessed. So I wanted the physical copy. I've been wanting the physical copy. I thought about getting a collector's edition, but I saw it there for $5, so I couldn't resist. All right, so let's start making our way down these Amazon boxes. All right, you guys, so opening up the packages here, I got Zodiac Academy. These books are freaking chonkers. Holy ravioli. Each book keeps getting bigger. So I read Zodiac Academy 1 this year, right? I just read it a couple months ago, and I bought 2, and I wanted to buy a few more in the series. So I bought numbers 3 and I bought number 4. And as you can see, holy ravioli. What is this, a Brandon Sanderson novel? It's huge. These are huge. Oh gosh, these are big. So that's what she said. So I got numbers 3 and 4, but I got, if we can find it. So if you guys don't know, let me explain to you a little bit about what the Zodiac Academy. First, let's unbox this and then I'll go over it. Okay. Oh, okay. So I also bought this book. This is called Dictatorship, It's Easier Than You Think. This is basically like a graphic novel style book informing you how easy it is to become a dictator if certain people wanted to do so, certain people in power wanted to do so. And it kind of goes over it in like a graphic style form, which I thought was really freaking awesome. So I want to read this probably sometime during the month of December to end the year before 2025 begins with a book like this. So I'm very excited to read that one. That is a chunker. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy. So now let's open these babies. Let's open these babies up. So I got Heartstopper Volume 4 because I own Volume 5. I own Volumes 1 through 3, and then I also own 5. I bought it thinking that I already had 4. Apparently I did not have 4. I only had 5 and then 1 through 3. So I went back and I bought 4, Heartstopper Volume 4. If you guys do not know, these are about 2 boys that are in high school and they start to become friends and they develop feelings for each other. And it's just a really beautiful, cozy time that addresses certain issues. Like we have Nick, who is basically going through through his sexuality, and like he always thought he was straight, and after meeting Charlie he starts to question everything, so you sort of see that play out a little bit. And so I thought that was like really nice to see. I'm like 3 books in, or 3 graphic novels in, and my daughter really enjoys reading these as well. She skipped Volume 4, she went straight to 5, but she also reads it on, what is it called, Webtoon. She also reads it on Webtoon, so I guess she's able to do that. Okay, now speaking of, oh my gosh, these are so intimidating. What the heck? So why are these so big? Why is it so big? That's what she said. So I got books 3, 4, and 5 in the Zodiac Academy series. What the oh, why are they so big? I just don't get it. Okay, the book is good. The series is really good. We're basically following 2 twin girls, and Tori and Darcy, I believe are their names, as they go to this academy called Zodiac Academy because they always thought that they were human, and then it turns out that they're long lost princesses, and they said they're supposed to inherit a whole bunch of money, but they say that in order to inherit their money they have to go back to this Zodiac Academy and make it through the reckoning and graduate in order to become heirs and then get their money. They don't care about becoming heirs. They want nothing to do with Solaria or whatever this world is, but they do want their money. However, when they go to the Zodiac Academy, they're already princes that have held the crown ever since their parents were like unalived, and they are upset that these princesses are coming back to claim their birthright when nobody knew they existed, and their parents have been the ones that are taking over, that have been like taking over the world or the country and doing everything because these girls have been MIA. So they're very upset about it, and there's this bully romance going on, which I don't enjoy, but I do enjoy the story other than that. So it's good. It's like Harry Potter with like Draco Malfoy, like, but in Harry Potter if they like had a romance, but with more adult things going on. That makes any sense. The next book that I got is The Hollow Dead by Darcy Coates. This is the 4th book in the Whispering Dead series. I read book 1 with The Whispering Dead, loved it, rated it 5 stars. I'm obsessed. It's so, I've never read like a cozy horror, or I guess I have. I read like The Haunting of Ashburn House, but that one didn't impact me the way that The Whispering Dead did. I just loved it. It was just such a cozy horrible time. Horrid time? Horror? I don't know. It was horror, but it was cozy, and I had a great time reading it. So I bought book 4. The next one comes out next year, so I'll probably just binge the series once the final one comes out. And then I also got I Can't Say No to the Lonely Girl, Volume 4. I read volumes 1 through 3. My daughter also read volumes 1 through 3. And this is about two girls that basically start to fall in love in high school as well. There's other things that are composed of that. Basically, this girl, she is like the valedictorian of the school, and she has to convince this girl to go to school, and that way like she can get written up a letter for like a letter of recommendation for college or something like that. And she decides to, like, this girl is like, okay, I'll go to school and I'll try hard at it, but once a day you have to do something for me. Like, you owe me a favor every single day. And so a romance blossoms between these two girls, and it's good, it's cute, it's adorable. Another very cozy sapphic romance story. So there's that one. So I have one more from Prime, from Amazon Prime, why am I saying from Prime? From Amazon, and then Prime's just their mailing service, but from Amazon, okay? So we're opening that one up. What is this? I don't even know what this is. What did I buy? Oh, I know what I bought. Okay, this, yes. Oh my gosh, why are you so big? Why are all these books so big? This is Death's End. This is basically book 3 in the 3-Body Problem series. 3-Body Problem, I can't even explain to you what happens in 3-Body Problem, because it's something that you're supposed to, as a reader, unravel for yourself with the main character. So I can't really give too much away, but just know there's a lot of political intrigue, there's a lot of conspiracy, there's a lot of extraterrestrials, aliens, things going on that define physics, which like explains a lot about what's happening with the government right now. Anyways, I told myself that I was not going to watch the show on Netflix till I read and completed the trilogy. I read book 1, literally the first book that I read in 2024 is still one of my favorite books in 2024, but I have not gone on to read books 2 and 3 yet. Because of this, you guys. So now I'm going to move on to the books that I got from Thrift Books. So Thrift Books is a website that sells used books. You can also sell your own used books there, but you also do have the option to buy new books. So I did buy, I think 2 of these are used, and then the other 3 are brand new, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think 3 of them are used, and then the other 2 are brand new. So let's open these up. These, I believe, are going to be the used ones. So the first book that I got, it was in good condition, and it is called The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. I saw this one on, where did I see it? At Barnes & Noble. And I was like, oh, that sounds so good. And then I saw that they had it on Thrift Books for like $4. And I was like, oh, well, let's do that. And this one says, how images of beauty are used against women. I am really in my like feminine rage era, so I do want to read about feminine rage and about like how we're seen as a society, how we can stand up in this society. We have so much more power than we realize, and I just want to look beyond that veil of like what the media tells us, you know what I mean, like, oh, you have to be pretty, you have to be this and that, and just really develop a new form of confidence, not about looks, but about who we are as people, you know. So I hope that makes sense. And I also got, they told me that the dust jacket was missing, and I didn't realize that till like after it was shipped out, and I was like, oh, it says it's missing the dust jacket. So I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can DIY something. I have a Cricut, I don't know how to use it so that it can have some sort of design on the cover, because this is so ugly. But I got Women, Money, Power by, it's covering it, Josie something. The Rise and Fall of Economic Equality, so by Josie Cox. So I got that as well. So there's that one. Let's open up this one. I can't remember if this one was used. Is this one used? Okay, so I also got The Living Dolls, The Return of Sexism by Natasha Walter. This one, as you can see, is pretty used, and like it was like in good condition, I believed. But this one also is to fuel my female rage era that I am in. It says, I once believed that we only had to put in place the conditions for equality for the remnants of old-fashioned sexism in our culture to wither away. I am ready to admit that I was wrong. That's all I need to know. Female rage era. So I will definitely be adding that to my list for 2025, and that will definitely be read in 2025. So now let's open up the brand new books. I'm so excited for this one. I literally want to read this one next month. This is called Off With Her Head, 3,000 Years of Demonizing Women in Power. Female rage era, like I said, this is basically going into different women throughout history and how they take women that are in power and they demonize them. They weaponize, they make them like, oh, this person was evil. You know what I mean? Like, we're seen as witches in history. We're seen as bad people, not strong enough leaders because we are women. And this goes into 3,000 years in history where women have always been portrayed this way or that simply just because they were women. Even though they did some amazing things to really change the world, we are still demonizing these women. So I am so excited to be reading this. I really want to read this in December. It's probably going to go on my December TBR because this is just, I couldn't find this anywhere. I literally couldn't find this anywhere. And then they said on Thrift Books that this was on back order. So I was scared because it says I wouldn't get it for like 3 months. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do you mean I'm not going to get it for 3 months? But no, they had it. So very happy for that. All right, so I opened this package up and I have opened this one. This is also a brand new edition of I'm So Sorry for My Loss, an urgent examination of reproductive care in America by Rebecca Little and Colleen Long. This is also going to be read hopefully within the next 3 weeks. I didn't realize how hefty it was, but this was also in the Goodreads Choice Awards as a nonfiction pick, I believe, and I chose this one because I knew that I already had acquired it. And not only that, but like I said, female rage era, and I want to read books like this. I really want to start expanding my mind and my beliefs and just my, you know what I mean? I just want to develop open-mindedness and more, I guess, empathy, sympathy, be able to really see things from different perspectives, in a perspective that I wouldn't usually be in. So I really want to read this. Very excited for it. So now let's open Aardvark. Let's get to the book boxes. Now that we have finally opened everything else from the bookstores, from Amazon, let's get to our book boxes, starting with Aardvark. All right, so we got it open. La la la. It says think inside the box. And then we have our books here, starting with American Rapture by C.J. Lead. This makes me happy and sad at the same time. This makes me happy because I have been wanting to read this ever since I found out that it's coming out. It is a zombie apocalypse-ish story. And that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. I feel like we don't have enough books like this in our day and age, and we need more. So I'm very excited to read this. However, it also makes me sad because I have Mayfly by this author, and Mayfly is like tiny, and then this one's so big, so they're not gonna like be friends. They're not gonna be friends. I wonder if the regular edition is as small as Mayfly or if it's this size. Next we have another surprise horror, and I tend to get a lot of horror from Aardvark because they have a lot of good horror. So this is Memorials by Richard Shizmar. It takes place in Appalachia. And I don't know if you guys are on that side of YouTube or TikTok, but there has been so many stories about the Appalachian Mountains. And yes, somebody corrected me being like, it's not pronounced Appalachia, it's pronounced Appalachia. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've been watching so many stories and all the locals are like, it's Appalachia. So now I say Appalachia. So if you're a native there and you tell me it's Appalachia, well then I'm genuinely going to be confused, one. But two, I've been told so many times that it's Appalachia, so I'm pronouncing it Appalachia. So don't go into my comments and be like, it's pronounced Appalachia. No, it's Appalachia. And there's just been so many stories about mimics, skinwalkers that take place in Appalachia. It follows 3 different students that have been set to go on this adventure in Appalachia, and they start documenting video footage, right, for their American literature or something project. And they start to see these memorials all over Appalachia, and then they start to notice as it gets darker and they're setting up tent or whatever, they start to realize that there's more and more of these memorials, and they all seem to have these weird symbols on them. And then paranoia kicks in and they think that they're not alone. Thus ensues a series of very terrifying events, and we don't know exactly what is happening to these characters. So very excited for that. I noticed it has this weird, I wonder if you catch it on camera, but it has like these little, like, you know, like the VHS, how they have those lines, and it looks like the camera's picking it up. That's cool. I don't know if it's gonna show when I edit it, but it shows it right now. And then lastly, I very sadly didn't realize how big this book was. But apparently the theme for today is I like big books, and I cannot lie, even though, because all these books are freaking thickums, okay? Even this one is a thickums. And I just didn't realize that they were all so freaking huge. But that also goes to say for this next book, this one's a thickums. This is The Bright Sword by Liv Grossman. The reason why I picked this up was because my friend, my amazing, beautiful friend, Nancy, she read the Magician's Trilogy and she loved it. And she was like, you should read the Magician's Trilogy. I have not read the Magician's Trilogy, but because of that and the fact that she liked that series, I'm like, let me start this new series. This one is basically a novel about King Arthur, but this is like King Arthur if they went back and Arthur was already unalived, right? Arthur is gone. And so they're like, oh shiznit, what are we gonna do now? And they have to figure out what they're gonna do because King Arthur's gone. It's a reinterpretation of King Arthur if King Arthur was no longer with us. And I'm excited for this one. It's just so big. It's so big. I love how they have like little member challenges and stuff, and then we always get a few bookmarks. It looks like we get a bookmark for each book that we order. I got 3 books this month, so I got 3 bookmarks. They each say this space is for your rent. This space is for your rent. Apply with your good ideas. That's cute. And now let's open up Book of the Month. Tra-la-la. Okay, so right away, the first book that I got was Volume 0, Issue 4. I have all of these. I don't want to stop collecting these, even though I haven't read them. I just feel like, I don't know, I want to do a whole reading vlog where I read these. This is basically a collection of short stories by different authors that have been featured in Book of the Month, I believe. I think they've been featured in Book of the Month, these authors, unless they're just like people or people that work there, but this is basically a collection of short stories. Don't know, this one has Christmas stuff. The Turkey Rumble, Christmas with Papa. So different stories. I don't know if each one has a different theme, like one's thrillers, one's romances. I don't know. But it seems, I don't know what these compilation of stories involve, but I do want to do a whole reading vlog where I just read all of them and then let you guys know my thoughts. So we shall see when I do that. But that's Volume 0, Issue 4. Next, I'm so excited for this. This book looks so good. I hope it's good. And that is The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. This is a dark fantasy, I believe. In this epic and immersive Viking-inspired romantic fantasy, a woman fleeing a ruthless assassin accidentally joins forces with a group of mercenaries and must use all her cunning to escape with her life and her heart intact. So it gives me very Dungeons and Dragons sort of vibes because she joins the mercenaries. It seems like so much fun. I didn't know it was a fantasy romance. I just thought it was a dark fantasy. But now that we have that romance aspect involved, I know I'm going to enjoy this. So very excited about this one. And the cover is just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Do you guys see it? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And this is another one that again. Like big books that cannot lie. You other books can't deny. When a book comes, a big book comes. And then last but certainly not least, for book of the month, I finally, I've been saying that I'm gonna get this and I just never add it to my box. I put it in and then I take it out. But I finally got it. I got Leather and Lark by Brianne Weaver. We know that Butcher and Blackbird is being made into a movie. It did so good so quickly that it's already being made into a movie. Leather and Lark, I've heard mixed things about. I've heard that it's amazing. I've heard that it's better than Butcher and Blackbird. I heard that they didn't like Butcher and Blackbird, but they liked Leather and Lark. But on the contrary, I've also heard that Leather and Lark is terrible, that Butcher and Blackbird was a masterpiece and Leather and Lark sucked. They DNF'd it. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to find out for myself. But I love anything that involves female serial unalivers. I just do. I love it. I live for it. Feminine rage era here, okay? And so we shall see what I think of this. But I really need to get to those 2 books because I think the 3rd one comes out next year. Probably just binge read those, huh? I always say I'm gonna binge read things and I never do. And then last but certainly not least, we only got 1 bookmark, which made me very sad, but because I got 3 books, they should have given me 3 bookmarks. Like, hello, just like Aardvark. Go with the program book of the month. Aardvark gave me 3. Anyways, that is it. I have so many empty boxes and packages over there. Oh, that's gonna be a pain in the butt to take outside. You too. Okay, last but certainly not least, let's finally, for the moment that you've been waiting for, or the moment I've been waiting for because I don't know what's in here, let's finally open our Fairyloot book. Because this is the only book that I literally don't know what is in this package. Everything else I picked out. This is a surprise. This is a shock. I don't know what's in here. So let's find out together. All right, so let's open this up. Okay, so the theme is forbidden spells. Let's see. I kind of saw the cover, but I didn't see the cover. Like, I don't know what this is. Obviously, it's a fantasy because it's Fairyloot. Adult fantasy because it's the one I signed up for. I just don't know what adult fantasy is. Will you look for me? Each glimpse a beckon, calling from within. Listen for me until the ringing of my voice becomes your only song. Hold my name in your bones until every wish need not be spoken. Okay. It's called A Sorcery and Small Magics. This cover is so beautiful. This is so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at those sprayed edges. Face, get out of the white. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, that is not good for my kidneys. I have a kidney infection. Well, I'm getting over a kidney infection, but still pretty painful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at that. Oh my god. I love this. I love this. It's so stunning. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Do you see that? It says audiobook available. Do they provide us with an audiobook for these? I don't think so, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me read the synopsis for this and then I will let you guys know what this is about. I'm pretty sure it is a fantasy romance, which I've been reading a lot of LGBTQIA plus fantasy romances lately. So I've been like binging them. So this would fall right in line with all those. Let me read the synopsis and then get back to you about what this book is about. Okay, so we are following two characters. We are following Leo, which I freaking hate that name. I wish it was any other name. We are following Leo, we are following Sebastian, and they are basically arch nemesis. So Leo, he has the power to, with his violin, he's able to summon like butterflies, or he can make a person's hair pink, which is like very cute magic, right? But it shames other sorcerers, and like his dad is like ashamed with like the power, the abilities that he has, because maybe they're not powerful, I'm not sure. And he accidentally like does this forbidden spell that ties him to his arch nemesis Sebastian Grimm, and the two of them are like, okay, we're stuck in this together, and even though I hate you, we despise each other, it looks bad on both of us. So now they have to go to this like forest, these woods where there's a lot of like murderous monsters, and they're relying on Leo's magic, I believe, to get them to this sorcerer, this powerful sorcerer that supposedly is able to undo curses before people find out. And thus a romance ensues because they're forced to work together. Very cozy fantasy vibes. Like, I'm just getting cozy fantasy vibes from the cover, from the synopsis. This is such like a grand old time. So I wish I had gotten this last month. That way I could have included it in my cozy fantasy vlog, but I'm just about wrapping that one up. But I might do a reading vlog where I just read all my Fairyloot editions anyway, so we shall see. Anyways, you guys, that is everything. Those are all the books that I got. That was a lot. That was a lot. I was expecting a Illumicrate to get here, but of course, Illumicrate is so freaking slow. It just did not come in, and I didn't want to wait because I'm reading some of these books soon. But yeah, anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to be notified when I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!